Hey guys, my name's Austin over at Montana Made in Miles City. And after establishing relationships with some of the universities to have physical therapy students come over, we decided to create a curriculum that we teach you in-house when you come here. We figured we would put together a video explaining just one day of our curriculum to give you a taste of some of the stuff we go over, as well as some of our thought process as to how we like to execute and structure rehab in general. Today we're going to talk about plyometrics and a plyometric progression. You will be given a sheet with this video attached to it, so that way you can actually look at what's on the whiteboard in front of you. We want to go over some of the rationale behind the progression sequence, as well as how you would use this with patients, when and where, and with what level of prescription you would use. Within the plyometric progression sequence, you'll notice that we have linear and lateral days, or linear and lateral exercises, and you can turn those into linear or lateral plyometric days. This is really a way of trying to get into more of the nitty-gritty of how do you design plyometric progressions within rehabilitation. And so plyometric being ideally an amortization phase or a redirection phase within force production. If you break that down, you have force production types of plyos and you have force absorption plyos. And then when you combine it, you can make a redirection plyo. And so we'll either focus initially on force absorption or force production, and then we build it into force redirection plyometrics that then we increase the difficulty of. And so in phases 1 through 4, which you'll be given an attachment to, we really have 8 phases, but to keep it simple and concise, we're going to go over the first 4 phases today. For the linear plyometrics, you would start with a box jump. If we have Lainey here perform a box jump, what we want to see is that her arms go in the same direction that she goes. So when she loads, her arms load. When she jumps, her arms jump. And when she lands, her arms land. So if Lainey shows me a plyometric, she lands up on the box jump, and then just have her step down. So no matter what height you're jumping to, whether it's a step or a box, you want them to step off of it initially, because we're really just focused on the gas pedal. We're focused on producing the force. Jumping off the box is now then a 20-inch depth drop, and that's a relatively higher level thing to perform. If we have Lainey perform one more plyometric, or one more box jump, what I want you to take into consideration when watching is that she's not jumping just to the box, she's jumping as high as she can and then landing on the box, quiet like a ninja. Here you go, Lainey. Beautiful. And then she'll step off. Now, if we are going to look at the rest of the drills within phase 1's linear progressions, we would have a depth drop. So then Lainey will stand on the box. Again, a 20-inch depth drop is relatively high level. So most of your plyometrics in patient care are going to be like 4-inch, 8-inch, 12-inch, 16-inch depth drop heights. But since Lainey is up, her arms are going to be up, and when she lands, her arms are going to land. What you want to see is that Lainey's knees and hips equally distribute the force when she lands. She's not super hip dominant, she's not super knee dominant. So when Lainey performs a depth drop, she lands, and it's a quick, sharp stop. So if Lainey performs another depth drop, you'll notice that when she lands, she instantly stops all of her force. Arms are up, and when she lands, arms land. Boom. Those both are now focusing on the gas pedal, the box jump, and her brake, the depth drop, which are the 2 parts that we have to build up to then develop a good plyometric. Another linear drill that we do is a single leg hurdle hop. And so if Lainey steps over by the hurdles, initially we want to focus on a hurdle, jump, and stick. So she's going to jump over the hurdles on one leg, and when she lands, she's going to stick it, which means that she's going to hold it for a second before she continues. So we're kind of focusing on the gas pedal, and then we're focusing on the brake. The gas pedal, and then the brake. There we go, Lainey. Boom, boom, good. And then she'll go back and just do the other side. Get a little better stick. What I'll usually tell them when I am instructing this is stop long enough and stick the landing so that if I was trying to take a picture, I would easily be able to snag a picture of you sitting there on one leg. Go again, Lainey. Beautiful. And that's the hurdle, jump, and stick.